valid, they are not straight. There are some mashartis that you have to fulfill. So if they are not there, it's the person with disability. Just like the other time, just a minute. I'm here, so I need to respond to that very quickly. What? Welcome. Asante.
All to repeat. Yes.
Idea what it Okay. Another one without a coffee. Thank you. BBI has given an opportunity and a window for issues of disability to be discussed. Let me tell you what has happened in this country is that whenever we are talking about issues of special interest, issues of special interest in this country have often tended to focus on women and youth. And I think you are aware that SIG, special interest groups, includes persons with disabilities. Yet when it comes to now the real cake, you realize that the disability aspect is left. And so we are pushing. BBI has presented itself. It has presented itself to women. It has presented itself to the youth. And we want now to see how BBI is presenting itself to persons with disabilities. And we're here. On Sunday we have a huge national conference in Nairobi prior to the Bombers conference that we have on Monday as disability stakeholders at national level to basically bring our voices of how BBI has tackled the whole issue of persons with disabilities. BBI is bringing in inclusion, and inclusion must be very, very clear in BBI in regard to persons with disabilities in this country. So we are keenly watching and engaging our various stakeholders, and we will engage also at the NDC about issues of disability alongside issues of women and youth in BBI. Of course BBI is promising a lot for women of this country, and women cannot just be women without women with disabilities, and that's where we are coming in. We are saying that even if BBI is proposing the gender aspect so that we are engendering the whole political process, how then does it ensure that even within the talk around gender we have women with disabilities also featuring? Because women with disabilities are also women. So BBI cannot say you're talking about women and you don't see a woman with disability. And that is why when you saw the 2/3 gender rule in Parliament, I brought an amendment to the Constitution to say that out of the positions that were coming in as women top-ups in Parliament, in the 2/3, how then do we ensure that a portion of that, those segments are women with disabilities? So I do not shy away from talking about the issues of women with disabilities when we are talking about women. So we are working around those issues so that we're also ensuring that even within the nomination slots that are going to be in this country, you know, BBI proposes around over 52 nominations, as you are aware. Where are women with disabilities within these 52? So that now when we are talking about the nominations that are coming for women, we will have to engage our key stakeholders. And Baba is very good with women of this country. So we have to engage him, and we engage the president to ensure that out of the 52 nominations, how many of those go to women with disabilities, whichever criteria. We may use the regions to actually base and bring out that. So we cannot talk about women without women with disabilities in this country. So that is my observation.
Persons living with disability, not only at the top of our leadership or at the top of the government or appointments, but to the grassroots. And on that note, I want to take this earliest opportunity to simply really congratulate and thank my able leader and somebody who has proved so that dynamic and consistent in this country in pursuit of the things and practical solutions to our people's problems. Raila Amolo Odinga. I think, let me state, that of all the parties that we have in this country, the first party to engage and fully involve the various gender or affirmative groups is ODM under his leadership. The women have got a whole league, the youth have got their own league, and then today I'm so blessed that I am aware that in 2016 around November we launched this movement ODL at Orange House in Nairobi, for the persons with disability of this country, but it was not brought all the through to the ground. Now, I'm glad that today we are here at Migori County to not only talk to these representatives who are here, but to send them back to the village and make sure that every person with disability in the village there is registered with the party, is actively participating, their decision and whatever they think about an issue is aired, and they are ready to give us what they think. Today, as we sit here, I'm so glad to have my colleagues, the president or the national president of the team, Honorable Danita Gati here, who is nominated to represent the team in the National Assembly where I work. I am aware that in that National Assembly, she is not the only one who is there. There is, at the Senate level, Dr. Musurube, who is also nominated by ODM, a person living with disability. There are other elected members of parliament. I know Rose Munyao from those sides of Makueni. I know the MP, women rep of Kajiado, and they are there. So the whole idea today, as I sit here, as the leader who is representing the persons with disability, youth and women, as we talk about involving women, I want to encourage my colleagues who are living with disability. Before we talk about your disability or no disability, the underlying principle is that you are a woman. So where we are talking about women, know that we are also talking about you. And that's why I'm saying I am here to encourage my colleagues. Like, let me preempt. As we are moving on towards 2022, I want to see some of my colleagues, women, youth, and even men living with disability, offer yourselves as well for the elective posts. You are able, we have said that we are singing it again. Disability is not inability. And so we support you, we will work with you. As the women rep now, you know my constitutional role. I am to represent, speak for, and champion and defend the rights of women, youth, and persons with disability. So even as we talk about expansion of women's spaces in issues of politics, leadership, election, governance, and all that, our persons with disability should never be left behind. We are ready to move with you. So coming to the BBI question, in this BBI, I think most of the time when people talk about gender, it is always thought it is the women. Rightly so for now, because in most cases there has been more men ahead than the women. But we are talking about the femaleness or the maleness of a person. So even as we go to the BBI, that's why our party thought it wise that before we make all the conclusions, let us involve every person with disability in Kenya in this mainstreaming. This exercise is not only taking place in Migori or Siaya or Kisumu or Busia, where my colleagues have gone, but it is going to take place in the entire country. So this is a call to all the persons with disability in the entire country. Please come out, register yourselves, let us know that you are there. We will send your colleagues back to your villages. Make yourself available. And don't be intimidated, don't be afraid. We care about you. We want you to know that you are a person just like any other. I think that is the greatest message that I would like to send today. And in Migori County, I know the number of persons with disability are overwhelming. The other day when we were recruiting people to be supported during the COVID-19, I was treated to a very sad scenario. The government said we were to recruit only 100 per sub-county to be given some 2,000 shillings per month for 3 months, including June, July, and August. And when we set out, I visited some 3 locations where this was taking place, just a location, as in administrative location, which is taken care of by a chief. And my findings were overwhelming. I had to go back to the drawing board. One station I found 350. They had never been registered in any program. In one station there were 250, another one 450. So I had run back to the ministry and I was like, If I take 100 people, this is a location thing. So imagine that. It means if one location in Migori County has got more than 500 persons with disability, then if you multiply that on the average with all the locations in Migori County, then you can imagine how many we have. There are millions and in there thousands. So I'm appealing, one, to the government. What we have started doing should also be done by other government wings, especially the social welfare. I know, I want to appreciate the government has been giving our persons with disability in the name of severe disabilities 2,000 per month. But that is not enough, and many others are still left out. So let this registration process continue, the evaluation process, so that these people are assessed and they are helped. Apart from that, the education of their children and even themselves. The Ministry of Education, I am appealing. In Migori County, I stand to confess that most of our schools, much as we send persons with disability to them, are not well equipped for learning of people with disability. We know every ministry has got some policy to help persons with disability. We want these implemented. Otherwise, for the BBI, we want that inclusivity, and that's why we are not leaving the persons with disability out. Please let us arise. We are there to support. Thank you, Baba.
A party structure within the ODM whereby we want to ensure that persons with disabilities are well represented so that they can participate directly within the party affairs and party activities. And also we intend to draw in more members who are persons with disabilities and members of ODM party so that they can be active in the party, because ODM is the only political party that is very inclusive, and it has accepted and embraced all persons within the Republic of Kenya, and also in their nominations and in their elective positions. We have different persons with disabilities within the ODM party. So far, we have already launched the Disability League in different counties within the Republic. We went to Busia, we went to Bungoma, we went to Kakamega, we went to Vihiga County, we went to Kisumu County, we went to Siaya County, we went to Homa Bay, and today we are here in Migori County. So we are traversing different counties because we want to spread the work that we do. And I want to assure you that the party is well prepared in this process and in everything that we do. And in 2022, our objective is that His Excellency Baba enters State House, and we must prepare ourselves on how we are going to ensure that the BBI also passes and pushes and factors in the agenda of persons with disabilities in the country.